You know, Jesus said the truth will make you free, but it's not the truth about somebody else that makes me free.
Wow.
It's the truth about me.
Good point.
Yeah.
That makes me free. Looking at one of the chapters, it says, "Help me, I don't understand myself." Mm-hmm. And
Oh my gosh.
even most people with a healthy soul don't understand themselves, let alone somebody that's all messed up, because you don't. I mean, I thought all the time, what is wrong with me?
Wow.
Because I would do things I didn't want to do, say things I didn't want to say, react in ways that I didn't want to react, and so much of it was coming out of my past pain, but I didn't know that. So I'll give you an example. I really understand why Jesus used parables. I can't hardly preach without giving examples and telling stories. I think the word is it's so practical. It's not over our heads. I mean, Jesus made it applicable to everyday life. So in the earlier years of mine and Dave's marriage, like a lot of young couples, it just seemed to me that we couldn't talk about anything if there was any kind of a conflict. If he didn't agree with me, then
you'd both be wrong.
Well, I didn't even really realize what I was doing, but I couldn't separate me from my opinion. I didn't know who I was.
Oh, wow.
So if I had an opinion and he didn't agree with it, then I would feel rejected. So then I would go into this mode of trying to convince him that I was right. So then he felt manipulated and controlled, and like the only way that he could get along with me was if he always agreed with me, which then, so my dysfunction took away his freedom. And I mean, when God finally showed me that, I was like, my gosh. You know, it was rejection. It was that root of rejection that I had in my life from my past. And so if I cooked a meal and it wasn't his favorite, I felt rejected. If he didn't agree with my opinion, I felt rejected. If he didn't like an outfit I put on, I felt rejected, because I didn't know who I was. I was all these other things. I was the way I looked, or I was, the way I cooked, or, everything had to be compliments, and I agree with you and you're right. When you feel so wrong, you want somebody else to constantly be telling you that you're right. And sooner or later, people are going to get tired of keeping you fixed, because that's all they can do all day long is make you feel good about yourself.
Can I use you as a referee just for a second?
Sure.
And I want to remind you that there's cameras here and that we're recording. So I just want, let me tell you kind of the opposite of what you just said. That might happen once in a while.
I love when we play this game with you, don't you?
And you have to be nice, because you do.
But referee this, because Laurie would never try to convince me she was right. She would clam up and probably feel a level of rejection that I didn't see it the way she did or whatever. But she would never try to out-verbal skill me.
Fight with it.
Yeah, she would just clam up and kind of go. So you are a verbal communicator, so she would be the opposite of that, but it's a very similar thing. If we ever get in any kind of a disagreement over, for goodness sakes, the color of a candle, it doesn't matter what it is, then she would probably just clam up. So that'd be
I explode and she implodes.
There you go. Yeah.
But both are equally destructive.
But I'm right?
He's always right. That's the problem, Joyce.
Well,
I'm just trying to get you to say I'm right is all I know.
All men are always right.
There you go. There's the Instagram quote. There it is right there.
It's like, at least they think they are. They've got a little revelation come out when they get to heaven.
Go ahead and bring that.
Yeah. I told Dave the other day, I said, when you get to heaven, you're going to be a little bit bored, because the rest of us are going to know everything that we've never known. The Bible says you'll know even as you're known. But I said, you already know everything. So there's going to be nothing.
No surprises for you.
There's going to be no surprises at all for you. And,
What's funny?
You and Dave are just such good
I got
friends.
you. All right.
You know, the way that we respond to things are partially dependent, large part dependent on our temperament. Like,
Okay.
I know a woman in ministry who was also abused sexually by a family member, like I was, and I came out of it like, you know, a bull in a china cabinet,
Yep.
and she shrunk back within herself and wouldn't ever confront anything. And they're both equally destructive, and they're both equally wrong, because if you do what you've done, you end up letting people walk all over you all the time, because you won't speak up for yourself, you won't take up for yourself, and you need to do that. I was on the other end of the extreme where, I mean, I confronted everything. You know, no right timing, no right place, you know, no doing it quietly or privately. I was just like, if I felt it, out it came.
Now, see, I love to watch that.
Yeah. And so I think that, you know, we have to learn to understand where some of this behavior is coming from.
Yeah.
And something that is amazing to me, it's amazing what God will tell you if you just ask Him.
Wow.
Why did I do that? One night I was tossing and turning, I couldn't sleep, and I usually sleep pretty good. And I don't know why it took me till 5 a.m., but finally at 5 a.m. I said, God, what is wrong? And immediately He showed me that I had really hurt somebody's feelings the day before and never bothered to tell them I was sorry, never repented for it, and as soon as I did, I went to sleep. But I didn't get an answer until I asked. You have not because you ask not.
Wow.
So instead of asking God what's wrong with everybody else, we need to start asking Him. We need to start owning our reactions to things.
Yeah.
Not just blaming, but owning our reaction
Right.
to things. It's when you stop making excuses
Yeah.
for all your wrong behavior,
Yeah.
I mean, things start to change pretty rapidly. But it's, you know, Jesus said the truth will make you free, but it's not the truth about somebody else that makes me free.
Wow.
It's the truth about me
Good point.
Yeah.
that makes me free.
At TBN, our mission is to use every available means to reach as many individuals and families as possible with the life-changing gospel of Jesus Christ.
Thank you for helping make the gospel of grace go around the world.
Without you, we couldn't do it. God bless you.